morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Hello.
Just shutting everything off.
It's so exciting to be here, our last show of this year. It's been an amazing RDH series we've had, and it's going to be an amazing show with Kathleen, of course, being our main guest appearance. So that's going to be wonderful. Not that you're an appearance, you're here every time, but as far as our main,
thank you. Thank you for inviting me to be the guest for today's show. I did this update on my iPhone.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to do the do not disturb any longer, so I'll just put it on silent. But you know, when you update things, it's never the same.
Yes, I do.
So everybody had a good week?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Great
it's been
week.
busy, right? It's like catching up. Oh, and here starts the Amazon man with bringing all my cyber shopping.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Will we be hearing your puppy today, Anna Louise? Saying,
Oh, he already barked.
And the trucks going by. It's another day.
Yep. It's
Oh.
true.
So funny.
Oh, so great to be together and start the season, December 2nd. Are you where you should be for December 2nd, getting ready for Christmas? I am not.
No,
I
nowhere near.
No, me either. It's just
I have my lists, but I have not actually pushed send on anything. Like if you look at my Amazon, I'm saying Amazon or, whatever, ordering online, I'm like, they're all set, they're ready to go, but I don't know why I haven't just pushed send so they can show up at my house yet.
I've got lots coming. Like I've ordered a bunch of things, but then there's always the things that you remember, like, oh, I haven't done that. And, the typical socks and underwears and pajamas for everybody. It's like, oh, I've been doing it for 30 years. So you think it would just be on autopilot, right?
Yeah,
It is
and
not for me
every
either.
time I say, oh, I'm going to give up giving you pajamas on Christmas Eve, the revolt is incredible.
I know, they look forward to it. It's so fun. You all dress alike and take family pics.
Exactly. All of those routines, all of those nostalgia type things are what I think sometimes they don't enjoy because it's so stressful to get them done. And then they're like, but yeah, we didn't do that. And you didn't serve this and we didn't play that game. I'm like, okay, all right, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. So, but it's a fun time to be able to see people and to enjoy, even though for some people it can be a challenge. So it's not always, it's balancing it all out. That's for sure. But
for sure.
Absolutely. It definitely is a holiday that brings up lots of emotions, lots of memories and things like that. So yes, but it is an exciting season for sure.
And
hopefully everybody stays healthy.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, please.
Take the Bliss oral probiotics. Lorraine swears.
Yes. Here we go.
One a day.
Oh, we are having a time.
Well, ladies, shall we get started? Should I introduce
Yes.
our wonderful guest today? So I get to introduce, obviously, Kathleen. I don't think for many people she needs much of an introduction, but she has, as we know, been bringing education and energy to the dental profession for over 30 years. She is the founder and president of RDHU, and she also is a very interactive and popular presenter. Kathleen is a key opinion leader for Creston Oral B, for Curion, LM Instruments, and Ivaclar. She is passionate about making change happen and ensures every program she presents will ignite a spark in the dental hygienists to implement change into their practice. And that is absolutely true. Every time I hear you speak, I learn something, I get engaged, and we're so excited that you get to highlight some really cool things today.
Thank you. And thanks for being here, everybody. Okay, I'm just going to share my screen.
So today, Kath, do you think you could help us and let us talk about the client experience? Because I know that that's something that you have been sharing and educating and something that you are incredibly, incredibly passionate about. So was there a turning point in your career or something that really helped you dive into that sort of section? Like what ignited this passion for you?
Okay, well, thank you. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Not the notes.
Not the notes.
No. All right. Well, first of all, I'll get into all that. And thank you so much for asking, Carrie. We're going to highlight the after experience today, which is one component of the total client and patient experience and interaction that they have with us. But before we get started, I just want to thank Crescent RLB, who are sponsoring and supporting this session with us. And you know, they've been a long time partners with us, founding partners actually with me, like right from the very beginning. It'll be 14 years in January. Hey, Anna Louise.
Yes.
Keeping with since the beginning, 14 years.
Yeah.
So it's amazing. And, you know, we appreciate Crescent RLB's support, their innovations to help us elevate oral health. And so I look forward to sharing some of their innovations and programs with you today as well, and tied into the after experience. And I also want to thank you for joining us today. We value your time and appreciate you choosing to spend it with us for the next hour. And as well, I'd like to, you know, thank my co-hosts here, because this is something that, you know, we love doing. We do it out of the kindness of our heart, and we get motivated and charged by it. And, you know, it's one of those things that we don't always do. We do it for free, right? So it's like our give back to the dental community. And so the reason why I bring that up is that I want you to think about today, some of the concepts I'm going to share with you. You're not going to get paid for them. You're going to be doing things that are kind of outside of the box, you know. You're going to be volunteering and perhaps like doing things that you've never really done before, and not look for, well, what am I going to get paid for this hour? And it's one of those things. It's funny because I was on Facebook last night and I came across Linda Douglas, she's one of the instructors for Trish O'Hare University. And she and Mark Frias, RDH, he's like a blogger and a pretty popular American dental hygienist. And so they had this article, it seemed like it was like an interview style. And they talked about doing things for free. And so often Linda would get asked, you know, I want to do what you do, right? I want to, you know, she was the editor for, I can't think of which one it was right now, but maybe one of you guys know. But she's done a lot of writing and very involved with publishing, and now with Trish O'Hare. So she said that she did a lot. She got her name out there. She wrote blogs. She participated in Facebook and shared things and did a lot of things for free. And same as Mark, he wrote, blogged, and did all these things for free. And then a company saw him and said, I want you to write for us, right? So that was kind of like his resume. It was like all his free stuff ended up being his resume. So, you know, a lot of times we want to step outside of the, you know, clinic and the op to do other things. It doesn't mean you want to leave the clinic, but maybe there's other things that you want to do that could be interesting to you and that could help you feel more satisfied and engaged in your practice. So with that, I'd love for you to have an open mind. We are going to send you these transformation cards. It'll come in the follow-up email, the after email. But for now, I hope you have a piece of paper and a pen. And I want you to write down, even if it's like you have one thing in each box, right? I want you to think about the takeaways that you are going to implement into your practice to make change happen. So, and then along the way, I'm going to ask people to share, you know, you could type it in the chat. But yeah, then I'll send this to you after, and then you can cut it up and you can post it, pick one at a time and just really focus on it. So at the end of my PowerPoint, and then we'll open it back up to the four of us to talk some more on that. But I want you to think about what is that one thing, and then hopefully you'll share it with us at the end. So to Carrie's question, what really brought me into this, you know, concept? I was first introduced to this back in 2012 when I went to this marketing conference with my husband, and we both had our own companies, and we were really looking at, you know, it was a marketing company. So this is all, it's marketing, but a lot of it is internal marketing. It doesn't mean you have to pay for ads and all that sort of thing. So it's like really looking at the client experience in 3 different segments. So you have your before, your during, and your after. And like we could put this into any business. So I would go to a mastermind meeting many times, part of a group. We go down to Celebration, Florida, sit in the boardroom and discuss all the different businesses. And so some were in healthcare, some were in IT, some were in, other companies, like other types of businesses. So it's kind of like you look at your business, you look at your practice. What could the before look like, which is a whole different topic? What could the during look like? And then what does the after look like? And I don't know if you've ever seen Hotel Impossible with Anthony Melchiori. He had a show from like 2012 to 2017. It was so good. And he would go in and be a guest in hotels. And he would document his experience and then share it with the owners. And it was eye-opening. So I always, and if you're a part of RDH, you know that we talk a lot about seeing it through your client's eyes, right? So, walk through the whole experience as if you are a client in your own practice. And, I used to go to this bed and breakfast, and I told the owner, I said, you should really lie on the bed and look up because there was so much dust on the fans. It's like, we know, like, and there, everything else was clean, but when you lay on the bed and you looked up, you could see like all the, dust and cobwebs and stuff. So it's just interesting exercise to go through. So, when I often get asked, why do you choose the number 8? Like I present and I write about the 8 simple secrets to growing your practice, the 8 simple secrets to being indispensable in the dental practice, which is a series I'm doing right now. I have a presentation on it as well, but it's in oral hygiene. They just launched part 1 of that series. So why the number 8? Why not 5 or 7 or 9? And it's one of those things is that 8 is also the symbol of the infinity symbol, right? So it's forever. There's no break to it. So the before becomes the during, becomes the after, back to the before. So it's always like such a flow. So a lot of the things that we're going to talk about here in the after experience will flow back into the before experience.
So Kath, I'm never going to look at the number 8 any other way. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. I'm going to see that. And I literally am going to be so gravitated because it makes sense. It is that before and after. And that is exactly what dental hygiene and the process of care and all that is all about. It really is about closing all those loops. And sometimes we see ADPI with that big circle, but really, I feel like I should be writing it in a figure 8 now in so many ways. So I just had to share that with you. I'm like, okay, mind blowing. I could be seeing 8s everywhere.
And Carrie, like I even think about your part of Aura Vital, right? So there's a really neat exercise that you could go through with Aura Vital. What does that communication look like before they become your clients? How does that whole experience with them interacting with you? And then what happens after, right? So and then it becomes the before again. So it really is a concept that goes with so many things. So with this, the feel, felt, found, I just kind of wanted to dive into the client psychology a little bit. And the feel, felt, found method really helps you, it helps your patient to realize 2 things. First, that that you get how they are feeling, right? And that they're not alone. And then also that perhaps other patients or clients have felt that way, and maybe even you have too. So you're sharing, you're understanding their feelings, you get how it, because other people have felt that way, and then what have you found, right? And then you share what you have found. And then this really helps with, whether it's a commitment to treatment or fear that they might have or financial obstacles. So then you share your thoughts on that. And when you share with your patient what you or other patients have found to work in this situation, it helps build empathy and makes them feel that they are heard and understood. And with that comes this patient psychology insights. So this was done in May 2021 by Ipsos Group, and it's a multinational market research and consulting firm. And they did a case study on the patient experience and what is important to the patient, right? Which was fabulous that we have this insight? So these are all the key motivators that we need to be in tune with. We cares about my time, offers immediate convenient solutions, cares about me as a person and not just a patient, communicates and relates to me in a personal way, has improved my oral health, and has improved my overall quality of life. So they want to feel understood. They want to feel that we value their time and that we improve their lives. So you see all this, and then look down here, has the lowest cost options. It's at the bottom, right? It's interesting to see. So they want to feel understood, and we can do this by segmenting our client profile types, whether they have implants or periodontal disease or bad breath, they need ortho or whitening. So that's all something that you can really, we'll dive into when we talk more about the before. That's not about today, but just to kind of plant the seeds that messaging can really be targeted or communicated through different types of clients that we have. When it comes to valuing my time, that's like, let's stay on schedule, right? And then let's have the tools on hand that we recommend at the time of the visit. That's going to save them time and not having them out searching for everything. Improving their life. This helps them achieve optimal oral health by delivering personalized home care solutions. And when we do this, when we understand them and we value their time and improve their life, this is what we can expect from our clients and our patients, right? Motivated patients, healthier patients. And in the end, it contributes in a positive way to office productivity.
I love that you're tapping into kind of that psychological aspect of the client in front of us, who they are, kind of what they're looking for, what they want, and kind of taking us away from sort of this cookie cutter list of things that have to be done each time. So I love that you were taking us kind of on this deep psychological journey. Okay. If you were to tie that aspect, and I can see from your slide here, you're going to take us there, but I'm very curious just to see how, because you're so good at this, like even with us, like whenever you go to RDHU, for instance, you've thought about all of our needs. Even me as your team member, I showed up the other day for an event and I needed something. And then it was right in the little basket at the front. You had your toothbrushes, you had feminine products, you had, toothpaste, floss. Like you think about who is going to be there that day. So if you were to take a look at, like clinically, if you were to take these concepts, what does that look like as far as the after experience goes?
Right. Thanks, Beth. I know it's like one of those things that, when we look at what can we deliver after. So when I first started diving in, for RDHU, we can all take a course and then it's over when we leave, right? So it's like really diving into what does that look like to make RDHU that unique experience, right? And it has helped us grow. We've gone from when I first started looking at these concepts, we had like 2,500 people as members, and it was like 3 years of that, just the same, lose some, get some, kind of like, and then we started to really focus on all these different aspects. And then it was, within a year, 7,500, and now we're up to almost 19,000, right? So it's like delivering excellence. People notice when you go out of your way. They notice when you're not being vanilla, right? You're being French vanilla, like you're really, taking the time and the effort, right? So everything we do is we're putting so much effort into every aspect. Just as an example, this is the follow-up email that we sent from Joanne Jones did the Ultimate Experiential and Oropharyngeal Cancer Workshop. So just think about what could you do after, a client appointment that could be really fabulous. And the nice thing is that once you do this, you can automate it and you can use it over and over again. Everything takes time at first, and then you can kind of reuse material, right? You don't have to reinvent the wheel every time. So this is like the email that they're going to get. And it's, thank you. We send them pictures to remind them. A lovely message from Joanne to everybody. And she's reflecting on her day. She gives a glossary, call to action, more pictures. It was a very special day. And so much so that people were calling us afterwards. And so we booked Joanne another date on Saturday, April 1st, 2023. It's so important what she was sharing. It's like things have changed. We need to keep up with the oral cancer screening. And again, there was more additional resources that we've done other shows on the RDH View that were about oral cancer. So there's 2 more extra resources. We had different companies, you know, with different things going. So we gave them all that as well, links and everything. So we're like the total easy button. We don't ever have anyone look for anything, which is probably why we're ready for a holiday, Beth.
It's also
Right?
why you're very popular, right? You know,
I really love to help people. I as soon as I see an email like, where is this or where's that, we create a video. If anyone's not wanting to know, how do I do this or where's that, you're going to get a video. So, okay, so the after experience, let's think about it clinically. So it comes in 3 different parts, right? We're providing an experience after the appointment. And then we're going to be nurturing lifetime relationships. So the appointment, the after appointment experience really relates to what just happened in that appointment, right? And then we're staying in touch with them. We're nurturing that relationship with them. And then it's generating referrals, right? And we're kind of reminding them of all the things that we do. So when the conversation comes up, where there's a possible referral happening, you're going to be at the forefront of their mind. So let's take a look at after the appointment. What can we do after the appointment? And I look forward to hearing some, if you have something you want to put in the chat, like what do you do after the appointment? And this is really after they've paid, right? So it's like they're gone, they finished, they've paid and they've left. And then you surprise them with something. It's like, whoa, like I've never had that happen before. It could be a phone call. So perhaps you had, it was a tough day for them, or maybe they had an area that was very sensitive. And so you're just going to have a simple phone call. When I get a simple phone call from my dentist or my dental hygienist, I'm just like, wow, like it's just so nice, right? You could send them info. So if they're asking you about something, maybe you're going to hold that back a little bit, tell them a little bit, but then send it to them afterwards, say they had some trouble with their TMJ. You could talk to them about it a little bit, but then I was thinking about you and I have these exercises that you could try and see if that helps you with your TMJ, different things that you could do. If they didn't schedule their appointment, they have a cracked tooth, and for sure you've taken a picture of it, right? You need to take pictures all the time. So you send them a picture of their tooth and just say, just as a reminder, like, I want to make sure that you schedule your appointment. I don't want you to, break your tooth or lead to implants, that type of thing. So it's just, and even if you had like a little notebook or something and you just kept track of it for the day, it wouldn't take that much time. And if you have the system in place. So at first, when I first started doing all these things, I was using Excel sheets galore. And then we dove into a different system, different platform. It doesn't mean that you only have one platform in your practice and that's it. No, you could have a second one, or maybe the one you do have allows you to have this communication. But if not, there's other things out there that you can use. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be, a dental platform. It could be more of a communication platform. Say for whitening, you want to have the follow-up, the reminder. Perhaps you send them a little note, a little email to say, just wanted to remind you, like, don't have a cup of tea tonight, or don't drink coffee, or don't have that red wine, whatever it is. Or maybe you have your own YouTube channel and it's a simple, if that was in an email, you just send it to them and here's something to remind you. And it's just one of you you're on your own dental YouTube channel and you're saying, just as a reminder, this is what's going to happen. Or maybe you send them a little syringe, a touch-up, there's things that you can do that really just makes people go, wow, that was amazing. If they got on the Oral Health Essentials program, they have the power brush. Maybe you have videos about that. And I know there's some videos as well that are on dentalcare.ca that you have access to. So you can upload those into your videos or into your YouTube, or you can put them on your website. It could be you talking about the power brush and show them the app and go through all that. And which leads to the send them something as well. So send them something, like I said, you could do the whitening syringe. If they're an implant, maybe it's a targeted clean brush head, you know, things that are just going to make them go, wow, that's amazing. No one's ever done that for us before. Tongue scraper. We have these, you know, tearaways, the Oral Health Essentials program. So you would send that back with them, and it's another thing, another reminder of where they're at. So it's not like you're just kind of talking to them, right? You're telling them what all their problems are. They get out in the car and they don't remember any area that you said. This is like something that they would take home with them. It's fabulous.
I find that when I call my patients, I do like to do those care calls, and you're right. Sometimes it's because they bought that power brush and they were a little nervous that it was going to create sensitivity or what have you. And it's like, hey, how's it going? Do you have any questions? Going through that, sending them little birthday cards, or I hope you had a great trip. And it really does add that wow to your appointment. And especially if you can tie it into something that you talked about as far as the importance of getting them healthy. And these are the tools, or these are opportunities. It really does help that patient understand why they should keep that appointment with you, and the value that we bring to the table. Because we know we're not just teeth cleaners. I'm speaking to the crowd, I know that, but it shows that we are going that extra mile that not everybody does. And this is a great way to differentiate yourself, and it helps me sleep at night. I like to go home and be like, okay, this isn't a normal experience you get with the average hygienist. We get to be exceptional. And I just think of what would, if it was my parent or my grandparent in the chair, how would I want them to be handled? And choosing, you know, one person or two people a week just to kind of do this with, it just becomes normal, and it really will make you love your profession again, because the love you get back from those things makes a big difference with your patients.
That's huge. Yes. And when you said birthday cards, I was like, that's on my list too, to say birthday cards, or even if it's a new patient or a new client and you just say, it was so nice to meet you and your family this week. We really appreciate you being a part of our dental family. You know, it's just like the little touch points that we can do that really go a long way. And then what's the best thing we can do for our clients and for our patients is get them healthy, right? Get them healthy, and they will be the best advocate for our practice. And just think like you will be their hero. So if they had, you know, stain and bleeding and bad taste in their mouth and maybe gunge mouth in the morning and just always feeling like they're not fresh, and all of a sudden, you know, we have them on all these tools where they feel fantastic, they're going to talk about it, right? That's a great experience to take them to optimal oral health, and you're going to have a loyal client forever. Which takes me to the Oral Health Essentials Kit, right? It's back to value my time. Have everything on hand for them so that you can give it to them. I actually ordered, this is it here, and you can probably see it better when I stop sharing my screen, but all the things in here, the targeted brush head for implants and for ortho, CPC rinse, so many things, an IO power brush. It's one of those things that, you know, if you think of those words, it's pretty powerful. Oral health essentials, right? These are what we need to keep our oral health in optimal condition, right? And the nice thing is if you have those on hand, or say some people get a little bit nervous, they think they're selling, right? So they'll be like, oh my gosh, we've got 6 and I feel sick, I can't sell them. No, it changes your whole mindset. You're not selling them. You're giving them a gift where you're sharing your professional discount with them, right? Like, I don't know how much, it's like 50% more or something to go out and buy it in the store. You know, you could send them to Walmart or, you know, wherever, but they're going to spend a lot more money. And what happens? They're going to go into the store. They're going to see the cheap, you know, this one here.
Yeah.
That's not good, right? This is that little, it's a $20 one, but they're going to be, oh, that one's $275 and this one's $20. I'll buy the $20 one, but they're not going to have the same experience, not going to have the same results, right? So it's like only 7% of our clients will go out and purchase what it is you advise them to purchase. That's pretty wild, right? So when you do go on these, so I bought these for RDH use. I bought 6 and we give them away at prizes and stuff, but I just want to show you how easy it was to get them. So I got mine from Henry Schein, and the things that are in here, I could probably share it with you better after, but there's like so many things in here. This is one thing that I was really instrumental in helping them, because I used to draw out the odontogram and, you know, I'd photocopy it and I'd write down all the problems. I did that for years and send the people away, send my clients away, and then share that with Crescent Oral B, and here we go. Voila, it's beautiful. Understand Me, they have implant chairside laminates, implant commitment letters. You can monitor their gum health, value your time, so you're giving it to them, and the app. The app is another pretty powerful tool as well. But these are all things that tie into the after program, right? The after experience, because you're not just sending them home with like a manual brush and floss, and you're sending them home with a system, right? It's the whole system put together where they're going to experience great results.
Yeah, it's really great to point out the system that's been, you know, validated by science. I mean, we all look for systems for our skincare and for other things, right? You know, they need to really embrace all this research and technology to elevate their overall health to wellness.
It's all connected. Yeah. So this is the new IO, and this is the next generation of the oscillating rotating technology, and it has added micro vibrations. So I'll just have you hear this one. So this is the, right? And versus, this is the Genius, which is the oscillating rotating, right? So it's just a whole different experience for your clients, right? This one here, it still has great studies and it's still a wonderful brush, but it vibrates, right? This one, the vibrations go right into the tip of the bristles. And so if you have any clients who are sensitive to vibrations as well, that's going to be great for them. And it has the linear magnetic drive system, and to efficiently deliver energy to the tips of the bristles where they can be most effectively disrupt and remove oral biofilm. And it's about personalizing the needs. So they have all different types of heads that you can customize for your clients.
And I know a lot of people that have used the Genius and then have switched over to the IO. Personally, from my own patient experience, talking to a lot of different dental professionals, and they really feel like literally you should give the IO a try because it's such a different technology. And Kath, many years ago, I remember hear you saying about ordering, because I know in different practices that, you know, the landscape has changed a bit sometimes, and practices don't always like to buy these and have them. But you talked about a few years ago about, you know, getting a list and saying to your doctor or to your office manager, listen, if I can pre-sell and have 6 patients that want to do this, can I order 6 in and then give it to the patients? So then I can offer them those professional discounts. Yes. And those are ways that you can go back to your team and say, okay, I love the science. I know my patients are going to benefit from them. I want to give them that whole kit. If I can do this once a month and, you know, pre-buy or, you know, pre-sell some to some clinics, can I order them? And most offices are going to say yes.
Yes, 100%, Carrie. Thank you. It's like, you know, that's what I was saying. Like, you don't have to have 6 because you feel like, oh my gosh, it like, if you like to sell and you're comfortable and you're confident, it's easy, right? But if you're like, oh, it's sitting there, I'm going to get in trouble because I ordered them. No, you have to change your mindset, but you don't have to order them. You can order, say it's the 1st of every month, you know, Mrs. Jones, have the kit there. This is going to help you. This is what's going to take you to the next level. You know, it's important. And we're going to place the order on the 1st. Would you like me to place your order? Right. And that way you have it on hand. They're coming back. So that's part of the after experience as well. Right. So yeah, so there's so much research on all of this, you know, and having the app as well. It's real-time coaching. So it's, I don't know if you've all tried it, but it's pretty cool. The app, and it's just like real time. It shows you where you are, and it's not like the, you know, we used to have the position detection but now it's amazing technology, 3D technology, and it shows exactly where you are at the time, and it shows you the areas that you miss. To me, that's the after experience right there. It's like, wow, it's amazing, especially if you love apps the way I love apps and the way I love to track everything. So it's just showing, 94% are, doing better coverage. They're covering more, they're getting more of the spots, right? Longer brushing time. The average brushing time is like 46 seconds. So if they have the manual, and if you've ever timed yourself with the manual, you'll see it's pretty short, right? And then also it shows you with the red, when you're doing too much pressure, you want to be in the green. So overall, it's a quiet and smooth patient brushing experience. And this really helps elevate the after experience.
So can I share a personal story? Because this brush, I think it's so funny. I'm like, okay, I'm in a rush. I've got to go. The kids' lunches have to be made. I was too long in the Peloton and I'm brushing and I stop and it like gives me that frown face. And I'm like, okay, fine, I'll keep going. And it just like, it's one of those things because you don't want to upset anyone. And it literally gives you this space. And sometimes I'm like, okay, thumb over it, put it down, pretend like it didn't happen. Other times I'm like, okay, yeah, I should be brushing a little longer. And so it's really funny how they've built in some of those cues that really help change behavior. And really, if we think of dental hygienists, that's our zone: behavior modification, behavior change, and simple things like that even catch me up. And yes, I can admit, I'm sorry. Please don't kill me. I don't always brush for 2 full minutes because life is busy, but I try to do my best all the time, and that helps me stay honest. Anyone else there have to admit that too, or am I the only one?
Oh, 100%.
Well, I can relate to, it's like the people pleaser in me when my brush is like this. Like that's the face it makes. Like, if you do like 40 seconds, it's like really, that's all you got? And I'm like, don't be mad at me.
I like the immediate feedback. If you're having trouble kind of getting around that, you feel like you're selling, let's look at it like you're protecting. For those clients, especially that have thin biotype, who you're trying to keep them out of the hands of the periodontist and grafting, and we need to protect those tissues. But on the other hand, they're laying off because they think their gums are fragile and they're sore and they're, but you have the opportunity to guide them to the gentle, clean brush head, and then getting that immediate feedback of white and green and red, so that, I think that a lot of my thin biotype clients are really benefiting from that immediate information. So they're brushing better and presenting with less because they have immediate information. And so I'm really finding that if you step up and you just decide you're going to pick and motivate those thin biotype clients and get your confidence up, then the rest will follow along once you see what a difference it makes for those clients. So if you're having trouble doing it all across the board, focus on a particular client type that you feel they want to invest in their oral and overall health by keeping their tissues where they're at and protecting everything.
100%.
There's new research that's out too with regards to oscillating rotating technology and recession. People used to think that it caused it, and there's so much research out there that shows and says it does not. Like, you've got to go further and change your perception. But at Anna Louise, I think that's a huge gem. Focus on one type of clientele. Maybe your practice is into ortho. Maybe your practice is into Invisalign. Maybe your practice is into implants. Focus on that individual group, and you will see the transformation that it happens. So anyways, I'm sorry, Kath, I will pass the floor back to you.
That's perfect, because that's like on that transformation card, you're going to write that down. You're going to focus on that patient or client profile type. That's going to be your first thing. And when you put it in front of you and you make a plan and you're thinking about it every day, stick it in your lunchroom, stick it on the board, right? So it's a constant reminder, right? That's what's so fabulous about it. So yeah, you're talking about studies. So we are going to send the studies as part of the follow-up email as well. This electric toothbrush, so this, oscillating, rotating with the micro vibrations, with the meta-analysis, it's showing 50% greater reduction in the average number of bleeding sites compared to a manual toothbrush. That's pretty impressive. And 28% greater reduction in bleeding sites versus a sonic side to side, right? So we've got a lot of follow-up things that we're going to send you. So you can do your own, searching through all these studies. But this is one that was pretty impactful. It was published in the International Dental Journal, which was a 12-week trial and included the IO, right? IO, the stannous fluoride, the CPC rinse, and the floss. And they're instructed to brush twice a day. So the clinical findings show that the group that were just on the manual brush with the sodium fluoride, and I skipped the slide, I'll go back to it, but with the sodium fluoride, improved by 20%. And the group with the IO power brush and the stannous fluoride improved by 80%. But the group that did this is like the gingivitis, all these people that were in the trial had gingivitis. So the ones that did all of it, they did the IO, the brush head, the stannous fluoride, the CPC rinse, and the floss, they improved by 100%, right? So it's pretty amazing. And every time when we're, in person with people, we ask, how many clients present with bleeding every day? It's always 80%, 8 out of 10, right? So now it's really time, like the technology is here. It's amazing. And would you rather work on somebody that's being on the system or someone who's with, a manual and a floss, right? As a dental hygienist, you want people to show up with less, right? And there's so much more enjoyable, less work for you, less, wear on your instruments and all that. But with the stannous, I just wanted to mention that, stannous is one of those fluorides that it's bactericidal and bacteriostatic, right? It remineralizes the enamel. It creates a protective shield. The protective shield is acid resistant, and it has an activated foam which penetrates up to 4 millimeters subgingival, and it lasts up to 12 hours. So it's a very, very powerful fluoride. So if you can just take away even one thing today, it's get your clients on stannous fluoride. But I hope you have at least 4 things you're going to add. So now the next part is nurturing lifetime relationships. So that was all really about after the appointment. What can we do? The interaction and all that. And now this is all about nurturing lifetime relationships. And this is one part where I feel most practices fall short on. And interrupt me at any time, ladies, to, share your thoughts on this. But most practices, you don't hear from them until it's like a 2-week reminder, you've got your appointment in 2 weeks, right? So all that education that we spent with them at their last appointment, it's gone from them. And now you have to re-educate them again and tell them all the things or share all the things that, that they need to do, or treatment that hasn't been taken care of. So it's really, when you stay connected, you'll see your compliance going up for sure. And, And so, what are the ways that we can nurture? So we can send out a monthly newsletter, right? Because when we're out of sight, we're out of mind. So you could do things like a fun fact. So it's like, they're looking forward to, it's that, monthly newsletter, and there's a fun fact. It could be absolutely nothing about dental, just something that's really cool. At RDH, we have our On Track Tuesdays, and people enjoy the blog. And if we don't send it out, which we try not to do very often, but sometimes life gets in the way, but people actually reach out to us and say, I didn't get my On Track Tuesday this week. And it's like, oh, okay, sorry, I'll send it on Wednesday. It doesn't happen very often, but every day, every week, we're trying to think of new, messaging to go out. So, but this is also your opportunity for you to segment your clients and your patients, and you can create messaging that goes towards them, right? So when we do our live workshops, the 8 simple secrets to growing your practice, the before, it's all about what are our client profile types. And so you list them all, and then your messaging is each. So even if it's like a young, busy family, right, they're going to have different messaging than, seniors. So think about what it is, and don't be overwhelmed with all this, because it can happen. It's like a snowball, right? You start with a little snowball, and then it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So just select one thing, right? And even if at the beginning you are just sending out a generic email, that's okay, right? What's happening? What's coming up in your practice?
I find from doing that too, getting connected with your patients, it's good for them to know what's going on around the community. If you're supporting, like at this time of year, are you supporting families? Are you collecting food for donations? Are you doing these things? Because then they realize we're making dentistry very, I don't think that the human's the right word, but we're taking away some of that box that we live in, and we're showing them that we, you know, a bit of the outside and how much we're going to give back to the community at large. And I think that that's really important as well.
Yes, 100%. And I have a whole community thing coming up too. So thank you. No, it's good. So you want to get your clients to follow you on your social media, have a sign at your practice, you know, follow us. And this is a great way for you to educate and share all the wonderful treatment and services that you provide. You know, you can create videos and posts on Facebook, YouTube, on Instagram. And then when you start posting educational material, it plants the seed. So maybe they won't need something now, or they're not ready to, but the more we educate them and have them see what it is we're offering, the better chance we are going to have with treatment acceptance. And I'm reading a book right now. It's called Persuasion, a revolutionary way to influence and persuade. And it's all about like placing things, and it's about, you know, getting people to decide that, not just to decide the way you want it, but it's about setting the stage the right way. So they'll automatically want to do it when the time comes and they're ready. So like if we have lasers and they're hidden, right? Nobody knows you have a laser, and all of a sudden you're sharing, we're going to use a laser today. Well, where did that come from, right? So it's such a great way for us to educate on all the things that we do. And so we know this, our clients won't always hear our recommendations the first time. They need to understand it and be aware of it. Hence the educating through email communication and social media. But information expands our context. So as we learn something new, we move through a series of phases, right? Hearing it for the first time, we become aware of it. As we hear it again, we begin to critically think about it. And then through thinking about it, we gain the ability to act on it. It internalizes the information as part of our context that we can then use to guide our actions and our behaviors. So repetition of the message helps, you know, move us through these phases. And, you know, we can reinforce the message through multiple mediums, right? So we can do it in the during phase when they're with us through visuals. So we've got like all these visual aids that are part of, you know, if you get on the Oral Health Essentials program, we've got all these visual aids here. There's a whole folder full of things. So we start the messaging there, and then we're continue on after the experience and then during the nurturing of the relationship. So it's hearing that message a few times. Now, this is something, it's new. It's a collaboration between the American Academy of Periodontology and Crescent Wellbeing. So they're partnering up to bring you a series of perio health posts that we can all download and share with our patients. So this is all done for us, right? And this is great for us to share through all of our social media platforms. You can put it on your website too, if you like. But it's, again, elevating the awareness of what's out there and how important the whole oral systemic connection is, and make people aware of, you know, that they really need to take care of their mouths. So these are just some examples. I'll go through these, but these are all posts, so you can download them. Pregnancy and your oral health. Know your fluoride. Cardiovascular disease. It's just such a great way, because a lot of people don't know. They think our mouths are separate from our bodies. So, you know, putting it together and educating them. And this is the whole system here that we're talking about. Alzheimer's disease and their oral health. And oscillating, rotating. So you can choose whatever ones you want. So this is with the American Academy of Periodontology, and you can scan this to access all those downloadable. That's what's nice, is when things are done for you and you can just make your own file from them, it saves you a lot of money on marketing and design and time. So you can take a picture of that. I will also send a direct link in the follow-up email as well. And when you do the QR, we talked about this the other day, Carrie and I, it's like when you see it, then you have to save it because then there's gonna be another one next and you're going to lose it, right? So mark it in your favors and your favorites. And then of course we have the Karen Comes Home, so many images there that you can use for your social media, for your website. So that's all here, and you can scan that as well. How are we doing for time, everybody? Oh, there. Okay. This is another, oops, did I just do something? Okay. And this is something, let's educate our clients about staying healthy, you know, during COVID, right? So we learned so much. So it's just another way that you can educate, either through an email or through social media, to help protect them. Because this study shows that they found that COVID-19 patients with periodontitis were 3.5 times more likely to be admitted to intensive care, 4.5 times more likely to need a ventilator, and almost 9 times more likely to die compared to those without periodontal disease. So, you know, that's not stuff we should keep to ourselves. We need to share that. We had lovely Joanne Jones at RDHU on Friday, and she shared, these are all downloadable with the BCDHA. So you go to bcdha.com/HPV. Great posts that you can share with your clients on your Instagram and your Facebook. And what's another way we can nurture? So this is just really about getting organized, right? It's about putting together a whole plan for the year. And this really excites me because you can, you know, look at the whole year and make a plan and have like different, you know, if you're going to do community events, maybe you're going to do workshops. So you just choose a topic for each month. And that could be your topic, your focus for your newsletter. Perhaps in April, you have oral cancer awareness. Perhaps you have an oral cancer screening day for the community, and that could be your give back, right? And the more you're out there showing that's most offices don't do that. So it's like, wow, this office just keeps giving. It's pretty impressive. You could share them how they can do their own screening at home as well. Whitening campaigns, you could focus on a whole whitening campaign, you know, before the holidays. Everybody wants white teeth before the holidays. When, you know, the graduation or during wedding season. Caries prevention, you could share tips and, you know, and educate the young parents about sealants and fluoride. And perhaps you're going to have all this going in the month of October for Halloween. And perhaps you could be known in your community as the environmentally conscious dental practice, right? How are we minimizing our own carbon footprint? We all need to work together to do this. And when you look at all the toothbrushes and all the aids, all the interdental aids and everything that ends up in the waterways, right? Most people are just throwing out, think about the bathrooms, you're just throwing out your interdental aid, the head, the brush, you're throwing it in the garbage, the tube of toothpaste. So this is a program that is with TerraCycle and Crescent Oral B. It's an oral care free recycling program, right? So just think about all those people who are just discarding. There's millions and millions of toothbrushes every year getting thrown into the waterways. So here, you can send it in, they can send it in themselves, right? Or, you know, you can send it in for them. So you just go to the website, I've got the scan, and again, I'll send it in the follow-up, but you just use your own box, you can print a free label and you ship it to them and they take care of it. So just think, if you are, you know, promoting this, you can go to this website as well. I've got the QR coming up soon, but this is something you could even create like a drop-off day. So maybe twice a year, it could be Earth Day, right? Where you're like, you know, known in the community. You could go on the radio, you could write something in the newspaper, bring your used oral care devices, and you leave them. Like, I wouldn't bring them into the office. I'd have a box outside. Perhaps you have some hot chocolate, you make it a nice, meet and greet type of thing. It's just bringing awareness to this and elevating that you are that office that's thinking about the environment. And they can do it themselves, or you can do it for them. And I think it's a really great thing to do for them, and have them, even if they had a little box under their sink and they just all collect it. Imagine telling the kids, we're going to put them in here, and we're going to collect them, and we're going to send them in. It's just a really good give back. And then lasers is another great thing. I touched on that very briefly, but you could start to create posts about the laser treatments that you offer. It's like it's the world's best kept secret that we have that laser hidden in that drawer, right? So let's take it out and use it. We've been really, certifying or training a lot of dental hygienists lately, and people are getting excited about it because it's just another fabulous tool that we can add. And Beth is our laser. She was doing the tango with the ultrasonics last night. I watched it. It was very good, Beth. But perhaps you could do some posts on laser whitening, right? And so, or cold sore treatment, it could be somebody who's getting married and feels this cold sore coming up, and all of a sudden, I know that they offer that service, right? Just educate. And in the end, it generates referrals, all this lovely experience, right? So what are they all talking about at the dinner table? Are they talking about you when the dental conversation comes up? And we know it always comes up, whether someone has a toothache or, or they've had whitening. So it's one of those things that you want to be on the forefront of their mind when they're having that conversation. And always make sure you thank them for the referrals. Find out, where did you find out about us? And send them a card and say, thank you so much. All right, so what is my wish for you is that you have a few takeaways from today, and that you're going to implement it into your practice and you feel a little bit charged. You've taken away a few little ideas that you can, I shouldn't say little because they aren't little. That's like saying just a little bit of bleeding. No, these are big ideas, right? Big transformational ideas. And here's the transformation card. Just as a reminder, I will send that out. And that is.
But Kathleen, you've given us so much information here. It's like we're going to have to pick 4 things to just get started. It's going to be.
I've had 10 years thinking about this stuff, so.
I know it. So, okay, so let's just say, like, how would you start to deliver like a 5-star client patient after experience? How would you do that?
Well, I do think that most people, you want to kind of select one person in the office to kind of run with it, right? Select one thing, select one person, put together a plan, because if you're kind of thinking, oh, we're going to do all of it, or if you kind of mix the waters and you have the before, have someone take care of the before experience, have somebody think about the after experience, have someone think about the during experience, and be in charge of that. And then do the whole, planner. So you have your year plan, come up with a plan. If you ever want to just have a chat with me, I'd be happy to do that with you too, give you some, help with that. But that's what I would do. It's like, you want to just start with the one thing and have one person focus on that. Because when you focus on that, things change, right? Like right now, we're focusing on some of the beginning, the before, and we've hired out. So you might have to hire out. You could hire someone to say, hey, we want you to run through this with us. We want you to do this and this if you don't have the manpower. But you might enjoy it yourself and want to do it on the side and not get paid. Because guess what happens when you don't get paid, right? You're getting your name out there. You're doing something extraordinary. People notice, your employer notices. It's going to help you in your career, right?
I feel like where that 5-star approach comes into play, because it's really a matter of the experience you want. You want to go to that Starbucks type situation. You want to go and have that experience that they spend with you, because that's what truly makes the difference. So I know we're very close to time, literally, but can you like summarize in a very, very short section about delivering that 5-star experience, or give 1 or 2 tidbits for us to help with that?
To help with that. So, oh my gosh, there's so many things, but for today, I would focus on the after, right? We just focus on, because you know what, we've got a gold mine in our database, right? We don't always have to look for new clients and new patients. How many people haven't come into your practice since COVID? I know everyone's busy right now, but there's still a large group of people who haven't. Right? You could focus on those people and send them an email. Have you found a new dental hygienist? Have you found a new dentist? A simple email that they're going to respond, not because of this and this and this, you need this and this and this. It could be just a simple one-liner to reactivate those people. That could be the first one. Other one is get on the Oral Health Essentials program. Let's elevate oral health. I want to start a movement. I want to get people healthy. It's night and day, right? It's like share, the more we educate, the more it's going to help us in our practice. It's going to help them. It's going to help the world, really.
Yeah, very well said.
I think, yeah,
Every
so well
Canadian
said.
deserves an IO. That's how I feel.
Yeah, I agree. And I can't wait to get those
everybody,
all of them, everybody does. But I'm looking forward to your transformational cards, because like, this is ridiculous. Those are I need your beautiful cards so I can put my takeaways on there.
I will send them.
Okay. But this was so great, Kathleen. Like, you just, you know, and I think that just the panel of us here working so closely with you, this is something that you really, you walk the talk for sure. You put so much thought and effort into the experiences that you deliver. And I love how you've been able to take your clinical experience and your experience with the before, during, and after, and combine those two, those two, not just passions, but skills that you have. So this was awesome. Thank you so much.
Somebody
asked everyone for
about recycling. Yeah, so that was the TerraCycle is the recycling. So that would be, if that's somebody's, you know, one thing takeaway, that's a great takeaway, right? Put that on your transformation card. That's another one. And that elevates the after experience, right? So that could be your one takeaway. Yeah. So you're sending everything in for recycling. It's a win-win for everybody. Oh, hi, Deb. Hi, everybody. So nice to see everybody.
I think it was a perfectly timed program, especially everybody can think about, you know, in their assessment that they're going to have to do for their practice, and think about the goals for next year. And some of those things, you know, if you're doing your research to back that up, could be part of your goals for your ongoing learning. And if you're, you know, supporting some particular one, like you're going to talk to your clients about HPV, then you could do some research and develop that not as part of your educational program for yourself, but then you're educating your clients. That would beautifully go all together. So amazing timing for this program, Kathleen, as well. It's very good.
Well, thank you for having me. I loved being a guest on your show.
You mean on your show?
Yeah. And you know, it's so good to see you, ladies, and I'll see you next week at the Christmas party.
Yes. Now, before we sign off, I know there are a few last minute courses, not last minute, they are not last minute, trust me, no one throws together a last minute course, but there are some courses that are coming up in the next little bit. Beth, do you want to just give a shout out to some of them that we still have running before the end of the year?
Yes, we do. We have, and you can always go to the RDHU website and click on the calendar, or you can even click on the live courses and get a list. But Carrie, you have one coming up on red flags. Fabulous course.
Yes.
There's Joe Siegfried is going to be with us for a course on HIV. So brand new topic for us at RDHU that I'm really excited about. And Lorraine Gambacore is coming for probiotics. And these are all happening next week. And there's laser certification happening this weekend. What else, Kath?
So for the HIV, if you are a Dental Hygiene Quarterly subscriber, do not register for that. That's going to be free for you. Okay, so if you want to become a Dental Hygiene Quarterly subscriber, it's $149 for the year. You get 12 plus hours, plus all the RDHU gets uploaded into your own personal portal. So yeah, so just remember that. And if you are part of it, email us and we'll send you the link. Okay. It's going to be a great
Yeah.
course with Joe Siegfried. I just love that guy.
Me too. Yeah, we've got some great courses coming up, and then fabulous courses in the new year for January coming up as well. So lots going on.
Lots going on.
Check it out. Yeah, check
Thank
it out
you,
and join us for
everybody.
sure.
Thank you for the
I'd like to
lovely
say another
comments.
huge thank you to everyone that joined us and for Creston Oral-B. We think that all of the after tools they do truly do make a difference. So I know Kath's going to send a lot of information. We've got the consultation guide. We have the recycling program, the link, the new AAP images. You can go right to their site, lots of courses, everything else that way. So definitely, thank you to Creston Oral-B for, trailblazing and giving us some of these awesome tools that really impact our patients' oral health. It's amazing. So I look forward to seeing you guys all in the new year. Our first RDH View is coming up January, the second Friday in January, which I believe is the 13th. And it's going to be with Joe, and we're talking Mayo. So do not miss it. Okay. We're talking Mayo in January.
Perfect.
Awesome. All right, everybody. Thank you.
Have a great weekend.
Great weekend.
Bye. Stay well.
Bye. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.